Hello, I wanted to do a quick demo of what can be done with the hl2mt tool token converter. Inside of hl, we have the ability to import stock heroes. Right now you can see the menu for the iconics, and what I've done already is I've gone ahead and imported the level 1s of each of the iconics, and right at the right hand side you can choose whether they're enemies or allies, and I've chosen them to be allies. So when that's done, that's what this would look like. I can see in the dashboard I have Amory, Kira, Lem, Lenny. I even have Lenny's animal companion along with the Sione and her arcane familiar, Ezra and the wizard. And these have all the feats, spells, and a lot of data that I'd like to get into Map Tool. And with the Hero Lab to Map Tool converter, I can go ahead and do that. So what I did with this is I went ahead and just saved this entire portfolio. And I did that off of the root directory of where I have the Hero Lab to Map Tool application. I have a directory called Hero Lab Saves, and I just have this one large Hero Lab save file with all these iconic characters in there. In addition to that, I also have a couple other directories. I have a directory of portraits, and these I just got off the Piezo website, and these are all the portraits for all the iconics. And I even have the familiars in here as well. There's, I think that's Lenny's leopard, and I've got Sione has a lizard right here. And I also, what I did in addition to that is on the Map Tool website, there's a tool called Token Tool, which you can take images, which I just took the portraits, and I went ahead and created little tokens for these as well. So basically what I have set up here is I have the save file, I have my little tokens, and then I have portraits for these characters. And that's all I need to go ahead and stamp out a bunch of Map Tool tokens. So let me go ahead and fire up the application. This application is already fired up. I'm going to go ahead and I got folders already set up to where it'll scan for the save files, it'll scan for the tokens and the portraits. So I'm just going to go ahead and process the files. And you can see right here it just scanned in all those characters. I have Amory, Kiri, Lem, Lenny. In addition to that, because I named the images, like this image is named Amory, this image is named Ezrin, that's portraits. And in the tokens, I also named them the same way. The application went ahead and was able to find the portraits and the tokens for each individual character. So now that I have all this set up and I have all these, the portraits and tokens named the way I want, and the destination doesn't really matter that much, I'm going to go ahead and just create tokens. And it created all the tokens for me. I'm going to close the application out. I'm going to go ahead and launch Map Tools. I'm going to go ahead and load in my campaign framework. And now I have the tokens over for me right on the left hand side. I can go drag and drop them onto the table. Like there's Amory, here's Lenny, and here's her animal companion. I've got Sione, and here's her familiar, which the familiar is a size smaller. I have, let's see, I got Sione already. I got Valorous over there, and Ezrin. And these are all sized correctly. See Lenny, she's actually a little smaller than everybody else because she's I think she's a gnome. So when I click on the tokens, on the left hand side, I have a lot of abilities. Like let's click on Valorous. On Valorous, in the Hero Lab save file, he has weapons, it has all the weapon stats, it has character sheets, his hit points, it has his skills, all those in there, and he has his list of feats. All that data has been converted into this Map Tool token. So if I want to make an attack with his longsword, I just click on the longsword, and it rolls a 2-hit. Same thing with the short bow, I can do that. It also rolls the damage off to the side. If I want to see his, if I want to do a bull rush, I can click on the bull rush, and it'll roll that. If I want to, he has a no animal handling, but he's got acrobatics of -2, probably because of his armor, so I can roll that. That's d20 minus 2 equals 4 minus 2 equals 2. So you can't do that very well. Swimming of 3, I can make skill rolls. In addition to that, I can also pull up his character sheet. Right here I can click on sheet, and it pulls up his full character sheet. So it has all the information I want for the guy. And if there's he has, let's see, special abilities and whatnot. Does he have any feats listed here? Don't really see, but In addition to that, he has down below, I can click on feats, and I can see his feats listed right here. For example, if I didn't know what toughness did, I can click on that, and I can pull up toughness and see what it does for him. For Barbarian, she has feats also. The other thing she does, she also has specials, because Barbarians have a Barbarian range, so I can go ahead and pull up her specials, and I can click on that, and I can read the full text for that. Oops. For Linny, she has memorized spells. She's a druid, and for example, I can look down here for Entangle. It has the caster level 1, even has a DC for Entangle for her. I can click on that, and I can read the spell if I wanted to. Sione's the same way. She has spells known. Same thing, Mage Armors. It has a DC 15 for whatever reason. Now, Ezrin's a little different because he's a wizard, so he has both a spellbook and memorized spells. So I click on spellbook, I can see exactly what he has in his spellbook, all the spells he has. Now I can also click on memorized spells, and I can see what spells he has memorized. Like for example, here's Burning Hands. It has a DC 15, caster level 1. It gives me the full text for that. Now I also have the ability to do things like, oops, I didn't mean to do that, but for example, if I hover over in the left-hand corner down below, you can see it has the name, her hit points, her AC, touch, flat-footed AC, her CMD, and speed. Well, I can also do things. There's an HP macro. I can click on that. I can do damage to her. Let's do 4 hit points of damage. I'll put that in there, and it'll also change a little bar above her. And she has all these. She has base attacks. There's basic die roll macros if you want that. There's basic melee range. For example, wizards so often have the ranged touch attacks. There's also the saving throws. And let's see here. There's also a tool initiative window. What you can do with this is add all PCs. To add all. And so, for example, with her, I can roll initiative. It'll put down initiative. And there's his initiative in there. So it's pretty easy to work with this. As you can see, it puts in a lot of data from Hero Lab into the map tool tokens. And the difficult part is just getting up and running and really just making the portraits and making the tokens and getting them all in there correctly. But once you have that laid out, which is really a matter of laying out your directory structure properly like this and getting your images and portraits all set up, the application is really easy to use. Well, I hope you enjoyed this.